All right, let's talk about something amazing. Ever really stop to think about how a single breath can power, well, everything you do? Today we're diving into the absolute engineering marvel that makes it all happen, your circulatory system. Think of it like a non-stop, super fast delivery service that's working for you every single second of the day.
So let's kick things off with a little puzzle. You take a breath, right? Your lungs fill with air. But how on earth does the oxygen from that breath get all the way down to the tip of your toe? Seriously. Or how does the sandwich you had for lunch power your brain to even think about this stuff? It kind of feels like magic, doesn't it?
Well, the answer isn't magic, but it's pretty close. It's your circulatory system. This thing is an incredible, massive network that's basically transporting everything your body needs to survive. We're talking oxygen, nutrients, hormones, you name it. And at the same time, it's taking out the trash, like carbon dioxide. It's like a biological superhighway, a nonstop courier, and a garbage collection service all in one.
Okay, so at the very center of this whole operation, you've got the engine room, the command center, the one thing that drives it all. And that is, of course, the heart.
Now, the heart isn't just any old muscle. Nope, it's made of this really unique stuff called cardiac muscle. And its superpower, it just keeps contracting. Every second of every day for your whole life, and it never, ever gets tired. Just think about that. It's an unbelievably powerful and reliable pump. So how does this incredible pump actually work? Let's follow a drop of blood on its journey, shall we? Okay, so first, blood that's already dropped off its oxygen comes into the right atrium. From there, it gets squeezed into the right ventricle. Then, whoosh, the right ventricle pumps it off to the lungs to pick up a fresh supply of oxygen. Now that it's all oxygenated, it comes back to the heart, this time to the left atrium. It gets pushed into the super strong left ventricle, and then, bam, the left ventricle pumps it out to the rest of the body. And the whole time, you've got these clever little valves that act like one-way doors, making sure the blood never flows backward.
You know, this brings us to a classic exam question. Why is the wall of the left ventricle so much thicker than the right one? Well, it's all about the job they have to do. Think about it. The right ventricle, it just has to pump blood next door to the lungs. It's a short, low-pressure trip. But the left ventricle, whoa, it has the massive job of pumping blood to your entire body, from your brain to your toes. That takes a huge amount of force, so it needs a way thicker, more powerful muscle wall to get it done.
Okay, so we've got our pump, but where does all that blood actually go? It travels through this amazing network of tubes, our blood vessels. And get this, if you could lay them all out end to end, they would stretch for over 60,000 miles. That's enough to go around the entire Earth, more than twice. We are literally talking about our own internal highway system.
So, this highway system has three main types of roads. First up, you have the arteries. Think of these as the big motorways. They carry blood away from the heart, and because it's under super high pressure, their walls have to be thick and muscular. Then you've got the veins. These are the roads that bring blood back to the heart. The pressure here is way lower, so the walls can be thinner. And they have these cool little valves to stop blood from flowing the wrong way. And finally, we have what might be the most important roads of all, the capillaries.
Yeah, the capillaries. These are like the tiny little side streets and cul-de-sacs that connect the big arteries and veins. And this right here is where all the action happens. This is where the actual deliveries are made. See, their walls are mind-bogglingly thin. We're talking just one single cell thick. That makes it super easy for stuff to pass through. Oxygen and nutrients pop out of the blood and into your cells. And at the same time, waste products like carbon dioxide hop from the cells back into the blood to get hauled away.
All right, so we've covered the pump and the highway system. But what about the delivery trucks themselves? What's actually flowing through those vessels? Let's talk about this river of life we call blood.
You know, blood is a real team effort. First, you've got your red blood cells. These guys are basically millions of tiny oxygen taxis. They use a special protein, hemoglobin, to grab oxygen in the lungs and drop it off wherever it's needed. Then there are the white blood cells. They're the security guards, the bouncers of the body, always on patrol, fighting off infections. And platelets? They're the emergency repair crew. If you get a cut, they rush to the scene to form a clot and patch things up. And all of these guys are floating around in plasma. That's the yellowish liquid. That's the actual highway, carrying not just the cells, but everything else too. Nutrients, hormones, you name it.
Okay, last but not least, let's zoom out and look at the big picture, the overall design of the system. And honestly, it is an absolutely brilliant design. It's called the double circulatory system, and it's the secret to why our whole delivery service is so incredibly efficient.
So what does double mean? It means there are two loops. The first loop is the pulmonary circuit, and pulmonary is just a fancy word for anything related to the lungs. So in this loop, the right side of the heart pumps that oxygen-poor blood to the lungs. There, it gets rid of carbon dioxide and picks up a fresh load of oxygen. Then it heads right back to the heart. Simple. That's loop 1.
Then we have the second loop, the systemic circuit, and this is the main event, the grand tour. The now oxygen-rich blood gets pumped by that powerful left side of the heart to the rest of the body, the whole system. After it makes all its deliveries, the now oxygen-poor blood travels all the way back to the heart, ready to start loop 1 all over again.
So, why go to all the trouble of having two loops? What's the advantage? Well, for one, this brilliant design keeps the oxygen-rich blood totally separate from the oxygen-poor blood. But here's the real kicker. By coming back to the heart, the blood gets a second, powerful push before it goes out to the body. This keeps the pressure high, and high pressure means faster, more efficient delivery of oxygen to all your cells. It's literally what allows us to be active, energetic beings.
So when you think about it all, from that incredible muscular pump to the thousands of miles of vessels and the amazing river of life flowing through them, your circulatory system is just, wow. It's this incredible automatic network that works 24/7 without you ever having to give it a single thought. So I'll leave you with this question. Knowing just how hard this system works for you, day in and day out, what's one thing you can do today to help your own personal delivery service run just a little bit better?